What's good, y'all? Tristan here, and today we're going to be going over 20 weird things about America and Americans. Now yes, I realize I'm American, so it can be a little weird that I'm making this video. However, I have not been in America for nearly a year now, and I've also, the people I interact with on a daily basis, I'd say 95% of them are either Australian or European. So I've learned some things that I thought were once just normal that I realized aren't really normal at all, and plenty of the Europeans I've been living with have pointed out some weird things that I do and didn't even realize. So here we go, 20 things. Number 1, why the fuck is our cheese orange? Seriously, that's so unnatural and fake. Why do we think it has to be orange? So growing up, I just kind of thought cheese either came in like a whitish yellow or orange. Like that's just the color of cheese. And then I realized abroad, no, there's no orange cheese anywhere else in the world. Come to find out, the only reason cheese is orange in America is because we dye it orange. For some reason, Americans think cheese is supposed to be orange, so that the manufacturers will literally dye it orange to make it have a fake color that's not natural. Number 2, so my entire life growing up, if I wanted to heat up water, make some tea, make some hot cocoa, I just threw it in the microwave. Seems pretty efficient to me. Throw it in there, warms it up. Then I realized, nobody does that. That's so weird. People from pretty much every other country, if you want hot water, you warm it up in a kettle. I didn't even have a kettle in my house growing up. The microwave was the only way. Obviously, some Americans have a kettle, but I think microwave water is a pretty a pretty common way to warm it up. I will say, after I was about 16, 17, I never did it because we got one of these little Keurig things. Number 3, and that is our medicine commercials. So if you've ever been to America and watched TV, you know that there's a ton of commercials on TV, especially midday, that are advertising different medicines. First of all, these commercials are just weird. I've never seen a medicine commercial that looks natural or funny. It's they're just two old couples holding hands, and yeah. But the weirdest part about them is why should you go to your doctor and say is Cialis for daily use right for me? Who thinks that the patient should be requesting certain medicines from the doctor? The doctor will give you what he thinks is best for you. And related to medicine, why don't we have just pharmacies? There's no such thing as just a pharmacy in America. If you go to a pharmacy, you're also gonna have toys, food, alcohol, a stand where you can get family photos developed, seasonal stuff, Christmas lights, candy, beauty and makeup, hair dryers, hair dye, it's literally a mini Walmart. The two biggest pharmacies are CVS Pharmacy and Walgreens. And then if you don't go there, the next place you're probably gonna go to get your medicine is literally a superstore, a Walmart pharmacy or something like that. We don't have just little tiny stores, where you can just get drugs from, or maybe a couple other things, but yeah. Our pharmacies are weird. Next up is the Pledge of Allegiance. Alright, so Americans are prideful about to be American, we get that. But it's a little weird. It's very cult-like that every single day, every single school kid that goes to school, you stand up, put your hand over the heart, and you pledge allegiance to America. Look, I get American patriotism, it's cool, we have flags and all this stuff everywhere, but that for me is definitely at least way too much. Not even to get into the details of the words of the Pledge of Allegiance, yeah, it's a little weird. And what's even weirder, alright, even all you Americans have to agree to this. If you're not from Texas, so in Texas, we don't just say Pledge of Allegiance to America, we then say the Texas Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to Texas, our freaking state. So yeah, Pledge of Allegiance, very weird, very cult-like, but I don't know. I never even thought twice about it growing up. Whew, alright, number 6. Now, okay, this one might be a little sensitive to some Americans, but that is ranch. Us Americans put ranch on literally everything. I'm talking carrots, chicken nuggets, chicken wings, our freaking salads, pizza, you name it, Americans put ranch on it. I personally do not eat ranch dressing. I hate it. It is disgusting. It is so high in calories too. It is the devil's sauce, but I don't know, for some reason, so many Americans use an absolute disgusting amount of it, and yeah. Alright, the next one, this is something I had no idea. I had no idea this was weird until I moved abroad and worked at a restaurant. So that is, when you're ordering at a restaurant in America, the thing you get before your meal is your appetizer, and then your main dish, the main thing that you eat, is called your entree. However, in pretty much the entire rest of the world, besides America and Canada, your entree is your appetizer. So if you say oh, if a waiter came up to you and said, oh, can I get you an entree? That means an appetizer. So my next two are how we write the date and how we write the time. So I used to think the way that we wrote the date wasn't that weird because whenever you're speaking, you say oh, I don't know, January 4th or I don't know, July 22nd. You say the month, then you say the day, then you say the year. However, I've now realized that's really only the case in America. If you're in other countries, if you're gonna say the date, when is Christmas, you say oh, Christmas is on the 25th of December. And once I realized that, I was wait, why do we write it like that? that doesn't make sense. And in regards to the time, something a lot of Americans don't realize, like if it's like 4:30 p.m., like it would be written as like 16:30, but you don't say like, oh, you want to hang out at 16:30? Like no, you still say, if you're talking to someone, oh, like let's hang out at 4:30. It's just when you write it, you would write it as like 16 instead of 4. So pretty much the 24-hour clock, or military time as we call it, it's not a difference in how you say the time, it's just a difference in how you write the time. Whew, all right, number 10. And guys, all right, I love this one because it is something weird about America, but it is the one thing in this entire list that I'm gonna defend. It's the only thing that we do that, yes, it's weird, but I think it's better than the rest of the world. And that is how we label our like stories in a building. So if you're anywhere in Europe, Australia, and you go to a 2-story building, you walk in and you would say you're on the ground floor, and then you go up to the 2nd level and you say, I'm on the 1st floor. Let's say you live in a high apartment and you live on the 10th story. You don't say you live on the 10th floor, you say you live on the 9th floor. It's like they count the ground floor as 0, and anything below and above is like 1, 2, 3, you know, like that. But I think this is so weird because like if you're in a 1-story building, there's not 0 floors, like there's 1 floor. Like you're on the 1st floor, you're on the like there's 1 floor. Same if you're in a 10-story building, there are 10 floors, so you should be on the 10th floor when you're on the 10th floor. I think it's a little weird to be on the 10th floor, but actually be on like what you would call the 9th floor. In America, how we do it is you walk in, and yeah, you can still call it the ground floor or the lobby if you want, but then the next one up is 2, and then 3. You don't say the next one up is 1. It starts at like ground floor is 1, the lobby is 1, and then the 2nd story is 2, and so on. So yes, that is weird about America, and I think Canada too, but that's not weird because it's like weird. It's weird because it's just different to the rest of the world. And I think it's the one thing I will argue I think we do right. Alright, so the next 5, I don't want to get into too big of detail talking about them because I've talked a lot about them in other videos, so if you want to hear me talk about these next 5, click that video right over there. But pretty much these 5 things are gun laws, healthcare system, sales tax, like after the ticket price, the imperial system, like how we use like Fahrenheit and inches and feet and all that stuff, and then the last one is the drinking age. So obviously those are some weird things that America does. I couldn't make this video without mentioning those things, but at the same time, like those are way too cliche. Like I'm sure any other video that's similar to this probably lists those things. So there you go, I've said them, but now let's move on to some more interesting things. So the 16th weird thing about America, and I'm not going to go into details about why this is, like there is a kind of a reason, and like it's all has to do with the structure of our government, but we have a 2-party system. We really only have 2 political parties, the Republicans and Democrats. I mean, I know yes, there's the Tea Party, the Green Party, I don't know, the Libertarians, like there are other parties, but they practically don't exist because if you want to be elected into like a national office, like you pretty much have to subscribe to one of the 2 parties. First of all, that's just weird because like almost all other countries have multiple political parties, but second, it's just not healthy because like I think we can all agree that there's not 2 sides to everything. Like there's not this way or that way. Like there's multiple different angles, different approaches you can take to things. Some people can be liberal in some thoughts and conservative in some thoughts, and we've kind of made it where we polarize all politics to having a liberal party and a conservative party. When there's multiple political parties that are working together, you can be conservative in this view, like liberal in this view, and I don't know, I think it makes for a much more healthy system. Alright, so this next one was like one of the first things I noticed when I moved to Australia, and that is our cell phone prices in America are so expensive. Like I'm talking like double any other country. I've talked to all my European friends about this, and their cell phone prices are also way less than in America. I've been to Southeast Asia, cell phone service there is so much cheaper than in America. Our cell phone bills each month are ridiculous. So I would say like cheap cell phone service, if you want like unlimited data or like a lot of data, it's gonna be at least $50 US a month. I'd say a pretty standard cell phone bill is between like $50 and $75 US. Well, here in Australia, and it's very comparable in Europe, like you're gonna be paying, they usually don't do unlimited, but you can buy like 20, 30, 40 gigs of data a month. And like you're gonna be paying, I think I'm paying like $28. I've heard Canada's cell phone prices are about the same as the US, but yeah, why are we so much more expensive than the rest of the world? Alright, enough expensive talk, let's talk about pennies. Why do we have pennies in America? First of all, it costs more to make a penny than a penny is worth. Second of all, nobody uses pennies. Literally, you'll see more pennies laying on the ground in the streets in America than you'll see like in someone's like car or pocket. No one wants pennies, no one pays with pennies, no one uses pennies, they're a worthless coin. Personally, if it was up to me, I'd get rid of all coins besides quarters. Here in Australia, the lowest cent is 5 cents. Okay, number 19, this is something I learned in Australia, and that is you don't have to refrigerate eggs. Why do we sell our eggs refrigerated? So like, whenever you go to a grocery store, eggs are in the refrigerated section. Here in Australia and in Europe, like sometimes they're sold there, but oftentimes they're just sold on like a normal shelf. Eggs do not spoil when they're not refrigerated. Here's the catch though. Once you do refrigerate them, you have to keep them refrigerated. So that's why like when we bring them to our houses, we keep them in the fridge. But if grocery stores just sold them not refrigerated, we would never have to refrigerate our eggs. It's kind of funny making this 20 weird things about America video because I actually have like 27 weird things that I thought of about America written down. And I think that there's a lot more than that. So this is what I want to do. I want all you people watching the video, there's a lot of non-American viewers I have, write down weird things that you've noticed about either America or Americans, and I'm gonna put your comments in a follow-up video of like 10 or 20 more weird things about America. However, I'm not gonna make that video if this video right here doesn't get at least 100 likes in the first 5 days of being published. So please, give this video a big thumbs up and I will be happy to make a second video about more weird things about America. Alright, number 20, this is my last one, and that is the giant ass gaps in our bathrooms in America. So growing up, you know, I was used to just shitting in a toilet and being able to see people walk by me when I shit. Why I was used to that, I don't know. Just saying it sounds really weird. I always have to like make sure I don't look in the crack or look in that direction when I'm like waiting for the bathroom because it's just so easy to see the person shitting. There are so many weird things about America, but America is not the only weird country. The country I'm in right now, Australia, there's plenty of weird things about Australia as well. So if you want to know 10 weird things that I find weird about Australia or Australians, check out that video right there. If you don't see it yet, it's because I haven't uploaded it yet, but it's coming in a couple days. Click right there and don't forget to like because I want to make a second video about more weird things about America. So please like this video and leave your comments about why you think America is weird. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, guys.